What's good? It's the Borheem. Welcome to the Borheem Reacts channel. Now, before we dive into this interview, I want to tell y'all why this channel exists. This channel is not here to glorify the streets. This channel is not here to even really take sides, although I do have a strong opinion on the interview that we're about to see, and it's definitely not for clout. What I want to do is I want to dive into real life situations and the consequences behind some of the decisions that are being made out here in these streets, right? Now, the interview that you're about to see is the full unedited interview of Abdul Robinson Sr., who is the father of Jacksonville rapper Ksoo. Now, I'm from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, but I lived in Jacksonville since 2004. I live in Jacksonville right now, so I have a very unique perspective about this whole situation, right? But in this video, we're going to see why Abdul decided to testify against his son and send his son to jail for life, how he got involved in the murder, and the aftermath and the fallout, and just how these streets work down here, right? So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the full interview of Abdul Robinson Sr., father of Jacksonville rapper Ksoo, who testified against his son and whose son is now serving a life sentence for murder.
Judged over the last year.
Correct.
You know, you've been all over headlines, man. And, you know, now we're here to get your side of the story, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. You know what I'm saying? It could be better, but you know, in the circumstance I'm making, I'm adjusting to it. You know?
You know, as I did my homework, you know, to the masses, you're Ksoo's dad.
Right.
But you, 80s and 90s, you were that guy in Duval way before his time.
Yeah, I mean, I did my thing out there, you know. I did my thing. You know, a lot of people got it mixed up thinking that it come from the rap music, but I've been out there with a bag, you feel me? But you know, rap done took over so big now. You know, rap is like 90% influence now. So, you know, rap gonna supersede anything that happened in the past. Then you got these young dudes, they care nothing about what you used to be or who you used to be. It's about right now, you know. So that's where the misconstrued coming in at. Yeah.
So take us from the beginning. Born and raised in Duval?
Yeah. I was born in New York.
Really?
Yeah. But I was raised in Duval.
What brought you down to Duval?
Huh?
What brings you to Duval?
My grandmother, you know, she came and got me when I was young and moved me from up there to here.
Okay, what age is that?
I probably moved down here when I was like about 5 or 6 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you moved down here with your grandma, and I mean, are you in sports or?
Well, not at first. I think I got into sports about, I don't know exactly when I got into sports, but my first time in the sports, I played in the PAL. And the projects across the street from my grandmother's house, they had a team too, but my grandmother never wanted me to go over there in no projects. So she took me out to this more mixture park, black, white park, and I played over there. I think I probably was about 12, 13 years old at that time when I started playing football and shit like that.
When did you stop, kind of, you know, get out of sports and kind of get into the street?
Man, I got into the streets probably like 85. I probably was like 15 years old. I ain't have a long run in sports. I tried sports one time in high school, but shit, that money was calling. You know?
Are you seeing people make money, or are you seeing certain things to bring you into the street life, or?
I'm gonna tell you, man, it was this dude named Henry Man, right? And man, that's the only dude that I'm gonna say that I really like looked up to when it was in the street time back in the days. And he always came on my grandmother's street. every Sunday to pick up this guy named Appreciate. They used to go to this skating. We had this place called Skate City. And they always came over there to pick him up. Every Sunday. And I used to see him, he come by my grandma's house, and I used to see him, I was like, God damn. And he had a different ride every time. Somebody dude had a jerry curl, fucking changed from here all the way down here. You know what I'm saying? He was really the first Jacksonville kingpin.
And you're seeing him at 15 years old.
15 years old. He coming past my grandma's house, music so loud, thinking my grandma's windows gonna fall out. My grandma's house ragged as shit. I'm thinking the windows gonna fall out. And to me, dude was the coolest dude I had done ever seen at this time. You know? And I was thinking like, damn, well, if I could get in with him, well, I'd probably really blow. So I ended up coming up with a plan because I knew the dude he'd come pick up, but the dude he come pick up was a user. But he knew how to skate real good. They like to skate. So I come with a plan, and I stepped to the dude down the street, and I was like, man, I'm trying to get something from dude. So dude's like, you trying to get something from dude? So I think I came up with about, man, probably like $50 or $100 at that time. Cause dude, he told me if you can catch him in the spot, he gonna bless you. So I end up not going to the spot. I send the dude Appreciate. He go get it for me. But Appreciate use him. So eventually I found out that Appreciate shave him and shit, you know, he taking off for it. So I just started going around there trying to cop, but I never could catch dude. I never could catch him. I think I might have caught him one time, he blessed me, but I never could catch him to get in with him. Mm-hmm. Good thing I probably didn't, because I might have been knocked off, you know. But he kind of really motivated me when it came to that crack. That's where my motivation really came from.
So you never really had a real conversation with the Henry Man guy?
Nah, never had a conversation with him. He ended up getting knocked off, got a life sentence. I think I know he did well over 25 on that thing. Mm-hmm. He ended up getting out too. When I ended up getting locked up, I think me and him was at the same prison for a couple of months, if so, and he got transferred.
So when do you get into the crack game?
I got into the crack game about that time.
So that was the introduction.
Small part crack, you know what I'm saying? $100 pieces, $50 slabs and shit like that. You know, I'm cutting it down. I'm hustling over in a white area, you know. So if I got a $10 rock, I could take it over there and sell it for 20. Mm-hmm. You know, like that right there. So I go to popping my thing like that right there. Then the area I was hustling, it was right down the street from my school. So I could leave school, go straight to the block. And that's what I started doing.
So this is around 15, 17?
Yeah, up in there, 15,
okay. So,
16.
Okay, so you're introduced to the game and you're investing $100, $50 here and there.
Yeah.
Small timing.
Yeah.
When do you do you remember the first transaction to where you're like, you know what, I can really do this on a higher level?
Well, what happened, I had that little small run. Then I started doing the little robberies. You know what I'm saying? I tried the Jack Boy thing, you know. And I hit a nice lick one time. You know, some dudes a dude had put me up on some game with his homeboys. And I hit the lick. And I think the lick was, I might have been about 20, 21. I hit the lick for probably 180,000. Yeah. And
at what age were you?
I probably 20, 21. Okay. So I hit the lick for the dude put me up on it, that they all put their money together and they all go down. So the dude put me up on where the dude stayed at and everything. So I sat on the dude. For about 3-4 days, catch him slipping, take him in the house, tell him where the shit at. So when I get him, take him in the house, I tell him, hey man, get that shit. He playing like it ain't nothing. His old lady in the house, you know, his kid in the house. I'm young though, I ain't got no respect for none of that. So I tell the dude on purpose, like, man, I know where you keep the shit at in the couch. You know one of your homeboys put me up on this lick. I let him know, because I'm trying to start the deception in the circle, because my whole plan is I'm gonna buck on the guy who put me on the lick. This was my break in the game. So once I put that in the air, I get the lick, everything goes smooth. I lay the dude down, I lay his old lady down, they got the baby down. I get up out of there. I hit the lick by myself.
By yourself?
Yeah. So that kind of put me up on my feet, but I go by it wrong because I go by a Bronco, I go by a Chevy, I go down south, I buy jewelry, nugget watch, nugget bracelet, I buy all this shit. You know, the image. It's just like the rap game. You gotta look a certain way to make a certain things happen.
Gotta look like money to make money.
Right. I mean, who gonna go talk to a bum about some money? So I kind of went by it wrong. I probably spent a great deal of the money before I started trying to flip the money. So once I started trying to flip the money, things started looking up for me, you know. I was able to get off the corner and start making serves, you know, because back then we could serve anybody. You know, you don't gotta know them. You could walk up, I could serve you. I ain't gotta worry about getting set up.
No,
you know, the game was different, yeah.
Was that your first robbery?
Hell no.
But that was your biggest at
That
the
was
beginning.
my biggest, you know. I had plenty of little small little robberies, and I had what stopped me from doing the robberies was I had one of my homeboys real close. We go to make a robbery, go hit the lick, and me and him debating who gonna go. We was just going to scope it out. So we're gonna go to this place and we're gonna buy something. You know, spend $100 just to see what it is, to see what's going on. So me and him debating, I'm gonna go do it. No, you gonna go do it. No, I'm gonna do it. So we pull up, he jump out the car real fast, he go do it. Little did we know, it was some more dudes in the spot robbing. Boom, they kill him. They kill him, boom. Situation went on. I end up leaving the situation, getting back. So that turned me against the robbery thing, you know. I was like, damn, I never thought that would happen like that. Then the situation got flipped around and his baby mother was acting like I set him up, and it all led to a whole nother situation with his brother, you know, and that went crazy, and that put a bit of taste. So I was like, man, you know, I'm gonna try to hustle instead of trying to just take people's shit, because I wasn't going to get no job, you know, at the time. Well, I wasn't thinking about a job, you know. You know, I had one goal in mind, and that was to remodel my grandmama's house, you know, because my grandma's house was so goddamn ragged. It's like, my grandma's house was so ragged. If it was 90 degrees outside, it was 100 and something on the inside of her house. If it was fucking 50 degrees, I know that ain't cold to y'all, but if it was 50 degrees on the outside, it might have been 40 in my grandmama's house. You know, when it rained, we had so many fucking leaks in the house. The carpet was stank from wet. Then we had a big ass fucking bucket under the sink where we had to goddamn catch every shit come through the sink. I gotta dump that. That's work. We had car jacks under the fucking floor to keep certain spots you couldn't step in to fall through. And that was my goal, to fix that house up. So I went to make him a little money, and I eventually fixed the house up. My grandma, she wouldn't move out the house until I had to move her from the front end and fix the back end. When get the back end fixed, move up to the back end and fix the, you know, do it like that right there.
Let's go back to the robbery where you hit the 180,000. Did you expect to get that much money when you were sitting for those 3-4 days?
I was expecting it because his homeboy told me. And see, what the deal was, his homeboy money was in that too. So what the plan was, I was supposed to give him his money back, and then me and him split the money. But in my mind, I'm thinking, damn, he gonna have more money than me. So I'm gonna buck on him too. But I'm gonna start some shit. If it's 3-4 of them, if I start the deception in their circle, they ain't gonna know which one really did it. But it's gonna be deception in their circle. They ain't gonna trust each other no more. He can't tell them that he told me to lick, because that's just like he telling he did it. So that was the, that was basically it on that right there,
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you were sitting for 3-4 days, I mean, what is exactly sitting? Is that like you with binoculars, like sitting in a car? Like what?
No, I was really sitting in the car. I could have hit the lick the first day, but I wanted to check dude movement out. You know what I'm saying? See, was his movement the same? See if he told a pistol, holding his side. And for them 3-4 days, he moved the same. He parked in the same spot. I'm just laid back in the car, just checking him out, because I'm back then, that's money. That ain't money now, but back then that's money. You know what I'm saying? That's real money, And he was so repetitious in everything he done until I said, I got him. I got him. And that's how it happened.
Yeah. So his kid was in there, his girl was in there. Things could have got ugly quick, right?
Right.
I mean, 1 second, you could have did your thing, he could have did his thing. Did you ever think about that? Did that ever come into account when you were doing these things?
Nope. That never come. Only thing that came in my mind is getting in there, getting that paper, and getting up out of there. I wasn't leaving without that money because I knew that money was in there. It wasn't to the point I didn't want to have to do nothing to him and his old lady. But if it was a choice between them three and me, and I got the upper hand, I mean, that goes without saying.
Exactly.
I for you.
Yeah.
I'm glad now that I look back on that stupidity that it went as smooth as it went. And by dude having his old lady and the baby in there, that gave me the upper hand because that made him vulnerable because he worried about them, as in, he tried to be slick. He tried to knock on the door. Man, I know you got a key. I've been watching you. And they might have had a plan already in place. If I knock on this door, you know something wrong. But he tried to knock, nah, man, open that door up, man. Yeah.
So somebody gets killed in another robbery. You said, you know what? I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna stick to hustling, right?
Right.
Take us on to that new venture in your life where you start hustling crack.
I started hustling crack. It was some dudes. My grandma. It was a project right across the street called Flag Street from my grandmama's house. And it was some dudes out there. They was hustling. They was hustling good. I had one of their homeboys that he would steal from them and sell it to me, but he was in with them. And I was hustling on the west side first. Then I came to Flag Street in my hood. I didn't live in the projects. I stayed right across the street from the projects. Once I started hustling out there in Flag Street, that made a big difference. I was making money on the west side, but once I moved to Flag Street, everything just changed,
I hear a lot about Flag Street. What changed the most?
Cause it kind of put me like, okay, I'm in my backyard, and it's so much traffic, so much different money. Like, okay, you got users' money, now you got sellers, hustlers' money. So that makes the game different. Till I got to a point where I blowed up so good in Flag Street, and I built me a little circle of dudes. And with those circle of dudes, it was like 3 little young dudes, and they used to carjack. They built a new shell station behind Flash Street, and they used to carjack, and they had apartments hot as hell. So I pull up on them. I'm like, man, y'all ain't gonna go to school. Y'all ain't gonna do. I'm trying to send them to play because they was good athletes. I said, man, y'all need to go to school. Y'all need to do. I said, y'all got the whole shit hot. They talk, yeah. I give them a couple of dollars. I feed them a couple of dollars. They still gonna do some dumb shit. God, they got the police in the projects. They know it. The gas station behind the projects. 9 times out of 10, the people who doing the crime coming out of there. So I end up getting those 3 dudes. And 1 year, I think it might have been 90, somewhere between 94, 95, they used to have black college spring break in Daytona.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a few cars, so that, we had a thing, we hustled all year just for that, fix up the cars and go down there. So 1 year I took them down there with me. And I let them drive. I let them do whatever they want to do. I knew I wasn't gonna drive because I'd have been there years before and the traffic be so hell, but they don't give a damn. I just let them do what they want to do. Do what they want to do. So they decided after that, we hung out for that weekend. They had a goddamn good time. We tricking and, and doing all kind of things they ain't never done before. Now they want to hustle. In their mind, next year, I want my own shit and I want to be like this. And I'm letting them know, you ain't gonna be like this carjacking cars just to joyride in it. You gotta get some money. Oh, they wanna get money. So I took those 3 dudes, they about 5 years younger than me, and I took them and I let one of them sell powder, one of them sold the weed, and one of them sold the crack. Like that. And my thing was with them is they couldn't serve no users because we got to let everybody eat in these projects.
For the people who don't, what is a user?
A baser. Back then, a baser.
Okay.
They couldn't serve no basers because we're going to let the other guys in the project have that money. The other guys who getting that money, they'll come buy the dope from us and serve the users. They couldn't serve no users. They couldn't do none of that because we're going to make everybody happy. We're going to make everybody eat. Because my thing is to take over these whole projects, and that's what happened. It was three dudes, and we took over.
At that time, how much are you making a week? If you had to estimate, I know it's
I really can't say, but I'm making it because what really boosted up some more is, matter of fact, 1 year we went to spring break and I met this chick down there from Miami. And that changed the game too. For some reason, that connect always used to fall in my hand. So I meet the chick 1 year down there and her people strong. I'm going down there with her. I'm going down there to her, getting bound a brick for $15,000, $16,000 back then. Easy, driving it up here on my own. Let one of my own boys drive it back. So we was making, like they say, hand over fist, man. I can't put a number on it, but it was a comfortable amount of drug dealer money.
Okay, you said powder, weed, and then coke, right?
Right.
Which one moved the most?
Crack.
Easy.
Yeah, easy.
Why is that?
That's that era. That was that crack era. Like how it's that fentanyl and meth and all that crazy area now. Back then it's that crack. That's what everybody want, that crack. That crack made them go crazy. And we kept that crack. We never had a drought. We kept shit. And that's what it was. They want that crack. Everybody was using cocaine. The regular people, everybody was smoking. They didn't have all that. I don't give a damn what color your weed was back then. They could be red, they call it Reggie now, it could be green, brown, whatever it is. That shit was smoking back then, you know? But nowadays, you know, they got all this different shit and different strains. But that crack moved, boy. That crack was jumping. And then by the margin of that crack is because we used to call it that whip. And we ain't dropping 28. We dropping 18, 20, 21, stretching that crack, making them rocks bigger. You know what I'm saying? I used to stretch that crack so goddamn good that the bass used to be saying, boy, Zeppa here gonna indict your ass. Because I used to put that whip on them. You know, but back then, that's that crack era, you know. And that's when that time was punishable on that crack, like how that time punishable on that 59. That crack is like that back then.
Do you remember the craziest time or the biggest month you had in like revenue per se? Like, was there a month or a year that you went crazy, too much money?
Shit, back then, man, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I ain't trying to be arrogant about it, but shit, every year. Every year. It ain't no year that I can just take and say, this year, that year. It was every year. It was every year.
Do you think you made millions off of, you know, selling drugs back then? Was it a comfortable amount just to make a good living off of?
I would say that over in times. I ain't gonna say that I had millions saved up, but over time, hell yeah.
How did the three guys that you had working for you, how did that pan out? Because you know money changes things sometimes.
Well, one of the guys, he got killed. And it happened in that same situation with the guy with me and the robber, my partner, all that kind of spun off from that. He ended up getting killed. And another guy, he was down with whatever. And one guy created a monster and didn't know it. You know, because like you say, it changes things. And by me being the boss man, you know, dudes don't understand. Once they find out your numbers, they feel like they should have been getting your numbers too. And it don't work like that because I gotta get compensated for getting this shit here to you. I'm getting you front door service, so I gotta get compensated for that too. And I think it was this round by 97. I catch a case. I go to jail. I got to sit down for a little while. And one of those guys, I gave everything to him. I gave him the connect. I gave him some of my power plays. I put everything in his hand because I thought I was molding him. And I gave him my house. I gave him everything. I put him in place. And I sat in jail for about 6 or 7 months.
With drug charges or?
A murder charge.
Okay.
And
was this from any of the robberies? The murder?
No, this wasn't from the robbery. He got he did everything he was supposed to do. He paid my lawyers and, you know, he did everything of that nature. Then I fucked around in some kind of way. I had the best lawyer in Jacksonville at the time, named Tom Follis. And I went to, and I don't know how the fucking detectives get my number. And they called me. I said, I'm gonna come down there. I'm gonna come down there. So I called Follis. I said, man, they calling me, blah, blah, blah. And I was supposed to go down there on a Monday, but Follis had to go out of town, so I couldn't go that Monday. But I had a warrant out for my arrest. So they kept calling me. I kept telling them I was gonna go. I think it was about a Wednesday. I went down there, and I didn't know they was watching his office. So when I go in Follis' office, he take me in the back. They rushed the office, you know. And so Follis like, I can't I can't hide you, you gotta go, blah, blah, blah. So I tell fathers, I say, man, you do what you do. I say, I'm finna go over here to jail, I'm finna get me some sleep. You wake me up when it's time to go home. So they arrested me and another one of my homeboys for that case. So that's when I put the little dude in position, to keep things going. And where I fucked up at is, when he met my connect, he seen my numbers. So he seen my numbers and seen the number, he looking at my numbers and the numbers that I give him. And for some odd reason, that built envy in him right there. Because I was fucking with these dudes out in Pickett. And it wasn't shit to go out there and take 4, 5 keys out there, man. I'm talking about them boys out there get some money. It's like they got a machine, you put the dope in one end and the fucking money come out the other. And I gave him them too. And I wasn't giving them to him. I was wanting you to hold them down until I get back. So when I get out, he done moved in my house. Him and his old lady done moved in my house. And I put a lot of money in this house. I remodeled this whole house. Shit, when I get out, he don't want to give me my house back. He don't want to give me my customers back. I get out on bond, he bond me out. He don't want to give me shit back. He don't want to, so I was out on bond, so I let him still do what he do, because I'm still eating, He took care of my children. I ain't gonna take nothing from him. He took care of my children and everything. But his even to this day right now, his whole life is a mirror of me. From the cars, from the jury, from everything. The color of his cars, the color of everything, It's just like for me, it's like looking in the mirror, And that built a lot of envy with me and him, but it was on his end. It wasn't on my end, because I didn't have a problem looking in the mirror at me. He don't have a problem looking in the mirror. See, when he looked in the mirror, he seen me. When I look in the mirror, I see me. So he was envy, he was jealous, and I created that because I should have just shut shit down. But thinking, okay, I can keep this thing going. I can keep everything going. I can keep them going. They ain't got to be with the bush. I'm thinking about to help them, like that. And it's crazy because his baby mother, I talked to his baby mother like a couple of days ago. And she was like, "You good? I know you just got out." I said, "Come on, don't ask me that question. When Nick Joker got out, he ain't good." She was like, "Give me a cash out. I'm finna see something. I don't think I forget everything you done for me, everything you done always done for me." I said, "Shit, your baby daddy don't forget." She was like, "Well, he always end up getting his on the back end, blase squaze like that right there. It ain't to the point where I got no pressure with him. But I just knew I created that monster."
So I'm guessing you were charged for 3 murders?
Yeah, 3. It was 4, but it was them separate situations.
These are all separate murders?
Yeah.
And does any of this have to do with the drugs? I mean, what kind of guy was Blue? Were you the type of guy that want to get people out the way when you felt disrespected back then?
Nah, man, I'm a good dude, man. I'm a real good dude, man, And once people get to know me, I'm the type of person, I match your energy. You an asshole, I'm an asshole. You cool, I'm cool. I'm the type of dude that ain't gonna let nobody in the projects go without Christmas. Ain't gonna let nobody go hungry. Ain't gonna let nobody get throwed out. That's the type of dude I am.
So, how do you beat these murders?
Charges dropped.
Was it self-defense?
Just insignificant evidence. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because we see these documentaries and of course, the situation with Ksoo, we'll get to that, but they say I guess you were on during the trial, I guess the prosecutor tried to paint the picture that you told back in the day to get out of something else. Did that have anything to do with the murders?
No, I never told back. I never told. I got co-defendants on every one of those cases. And they out there right now being a dad and a granddaddy. I never told. See, we gonna jump around and we're gonna address that. See, what happened was the streets they dumb because they said that I was a CI, paid CI.
Mm-hmm.
Where the motherfucker that I put in jail? Don't you think he would have came out by now and said that I put him in jail? I ain't never put no motherfucking body in jail. You know? They said that. Yeah, I said it on the stand because I was straddling the fence. You know, I didn't want to be the best witness up there, but it was Ksoo lawyer to find out was that true or not, which they didn't do. You know, Ksoo lawyers failed him because they had a lot of witnesses that they didn't do a thorough background on. But I'm gonna tell you why I found out that they didn't. Because they went from being a paid lawyer to an appointed lawyer. Once Ksoo money, the little money he made ran out, man, the shit's sad that Ksoo had to fight that case energy like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I thought Young and Ace took care of his lawyer.
Ace lied.
Whoa. So Young and Ace came out saying that, I don't want to misquote anybody, but Young and Ace claims that he took care of Ksoo's lawyer. You're saying that's a lie?
That's a lie.
At the beginning, he never in the beginning.
You can't take care of a lawyer in the beginning.
What do you mean?
You got to take care of a lawyer all the way.
I mean, people's money runs out.
Yeah, you got to take care of a lawyer all the way.
People's money run out, though.
They do. Their people money do run out. I don't think Ace paid Ksoo lawyer now dime.
Really?
Yeah. Because on this case, me and my son, Crazy K got the same name. So sometimes I maybe get his mail or he'll get my mail.
Me and my dad, same thing. We got the same name too, so.
Yeah. So I get a letter in the mail about payments on their lawyers. And I'm like, wait a minute. I flipped the paper over. Ain't nothing on the back of the paper, everything on the front, but I want to make sure, is this legitimate? Where their lawyers are filing to get paid from the state. So that's gonna cut. Let's say Ksoo lawyer them charged $200,000. Let's say they done got paid $80,000 to $100,000. Now they going from the back end 100 to probably 25 to 30,000. They can't hire a fucking private investigator. They can't hire nothing to find out nothing. All they gotta do is go in there and try to discredit the witnesses. Even if you watch the trial, that police that got up there that say he witnessed the scene, it's so much fucking dirt on him that they supposed to be able to find out documented shit through the police documented shit that they supposed to be able to find out on him. It's so much shit that they supposed to find out on their star witness. It's so much shit they supposed to find out on me. Cause I throwed a couple plays out there for them to find out. I ain't never been no motherfucking CI, paid CI. Ain't no motherfucker can come and say, we ain't talking about the trial, that I put them in jail. Nobody. And by now they would have done popped up to get that little clout that Blue locked me up. But nobody is looking at it that way.
I think we're looking at what you said on the stand.
Right.
And I get it. I mean, you're in a vulnerable situation. You're trying not to lock up your son, but I get it. But I think people are going off of what we seen and what we heard you say.
Right. And then, see, another thing where they don't understand is before I went to federal prison, I had about 6 Jacksonville sheriff officers on the payroll. Dirty cops.
I heard. I was going to get to that.
So they think we're going to use me and you. You come cop a key of dope from me. You pull off and go that way and you get pulled over. Police run this line on you, take this dope. I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna keep this, or I could take you to jail for it. What you gonna say?
Shit,
keep
take
that
it.
shit.
Take it.
Police bring that shit back to me.
You.
So now
You
the street.
You made your money and you got your work back.
Right. So now the streets claiming that that's me setting people up. But that was my shady dealings.
If you don't mind telling me, how much are you paying these police at the height of your career?
Man, I was getting them dudes at one time like $4,000-$5,000 a week. And if they give me some information, man, listen, man, them motherfuckers were some gangsters. They missed their calling being a police. When I say these were some gangsters, they were some gangsters, you know. And I did a lot of shady business with them, you know, and even then, I had traps on down there every side of town at one time. They would tell me, say, look, man, they coming to knock you off. Blase squaze. Don't have the house just clean. Leave somebody in there with something small. I still got everybody out of there. Every time they hit, nobody get arrested. They'll hit one spot, we'll sit across the track and watch them going in that motherfucker. When they leave, they go back and open that motherfucker up.
So I guess it was a white cop and a black cop. The white cop had it to where he had you. And then the black cop, what's his Sinclair? What's his name? Sinclair.
Yeah.
So I guess he was the one putting you on game.
Yeah.
Is that that's where we're going with it?
Yeah.
And those two cops get into it because the white cop finds out that he's telling you everything?
What happened was him and the white dude, they were buddies. They were buddies in that. And Sinclair and them was buddies, and they fell out because dude was straight. The white dude was he ain't doing nothing wrong. But these other dudes are.
And he the one that really wanted you, the white cop.
Yes. Old cracker named Blitzing officer.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But they was real tight, you know what I'm saying? And Sinclair just trying to get us to knock him off. You know what I'm saying? But that was above my pay grade right there.
So when you say knock him off, that's kill him.
Yeah.
Okay. And have you ever got robbed? Or any of your spots ever get robbed?
Man, I ain't never got robbed, man. A dude wasn't gonna try that. Seriously. Dude, I never been robbed. I never been attempted to rob. Nobody attempted to rob. I never had my house broke in. Dudes just didn't fuck with me because there was too much trouble for them. Mm-hmm. Period. That's just what it was, you know. They ain't want that trouble.
So let me get back to these 4 murders. I know I keep asking you this, but it's a big part of your story. How do you beat these murders? I know you say evidence and allegations, but can you take us even like through how these murders were even put on you?
You know, you got to think about this. And you got to take yourself and sit yourself over here on that. A murder is never, a murder is no statutory limitation on a murder. Period.
Mhm.
You know, and that's basically something that I don't even want to really get into.
Okay. No, I hear you.
You know, because.
But it had nothing to do with you telling to get out of. That's where
Never.
I just wanted to get that clear.
Never.
Because I think a lot of people, they run with the documentaries and then they run what you said on a trial and they try to put that together.
I never told on there one of those cases. I didn't even have a homeboy tell me, say, hey man, what you want me to do? I never told on those cases, never. First time in my life ever given a deposition was in this case with my son. That's a fact. I know they done looked it up. I know they done tried to find it. First time ever getting on the stand in a case was with this case with my son.
Mm-hmm.
Ever. When you go to the feds, if you don't go to trial, you're gonna do what I did. The same thing I did. They said I got a motherfucking 5K1. I ain't never had a 5K1. If Ksoo and them lawyers would have did their job, they would have found out that I ain't never had a 5K1. Never had a 5K1. When you go to the feds, they got this thing called accepting responsibilities. You basically telling on yourself. Basically what you gonna do, they gonna have all these allegations that the Fed got on you, you gonna go in there and you gonna say, yeah, and you gonna agree to it. Never gave no statement, never gave no grand jury shit in the feds, no depositions, never testified on nobody in the feds or none of that. When you go in there, you gonna say, and it, reason being a lot of people do it because it depends on what category you in the feds, that motherfucking shit might knock 5 years off of your time. If you go in there and say, they say, well, man, I sold 3-4 keys to so and so and so, and you go in there and you say, yeah, I did that. If a dude ain't with the trial in the feds, he done that. I ain't no goddamn talking about in the feds that you finna negotiate no time with these people. Ain't no such thing. Ain't no bond in the feds. If you're on a bond, you telling. You can't, you in categories 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And when I got hit in the feds, that was my first conviction ever. Mm. So a lot of people don't know that. That had me in a good spot. That had me in a good spot in the feds because I was in category either 1 or 2. Once you get past category 4 and 5, like my co-defendant, he was in category 6. That was a career offender. He gonna start at about fucking 30 years. Mm-hmm. You know, I never had been to prison before. My Fed was the first time I ever been to prison.
How long was that bid?
I did 11 years.
11 years.
Yeah.
From 99 to?
I did from 99 to like 10.
Damn.
To 2010.
Society's totally different. You come home with cell phones.
Hell yeah.
What was it like getting out?
Oh man. It took me fucking 2 weeks to turn on a damn this little shit they gave me had a lot of music on it. What they call it?
iTunes, iPad.
iPad, yeah. It took me like 2 weeks, and one day I was just holding the damn
you just
button.
Gotta hold it down for 5
I was holding the button, and the bitch lit up. I said, "Oh, what the fuck?" You know, and I ride in the car. I got the steering wheel like this here. I don't want no music on. I don't want shit on. I'm trying to focus. Mm. It's like a whole nother world learning how to use all these things, you know, using all this technology that's going on. And I swear to God, I wasn't getting on no Facebook, no Instagram or nothing like that. But shit, if you don't, you lost. Mm. You know.
When you came home, did you come home to nothing? You feel like you was
I definitely came home to nothing, you know. My nephew, he gonna kill me when he see this, but my nephew, when I was in prison, my nephew used to send me maybe $50 a week. In the feds, you get money, you work for money. In the feds, you might make $80. Some people jobs getting $100, $200 in the feds. And my nephew would send me, when I left, my nephew, they was little, you know, and my nephews is my sons. And I never let them do nothing, no hustling or nothing. You know, whatever they did or whatever they needed, I bought it for them. So my nephew, when I was in prison, he'd send me money. He was consistent. But I used to always tell him, like, look, if you don't got it, I don't want you to do nothing to try to get it. And he was always like, I'm good. So when I got immediate release because they changed the law, the crack law, and I got immediate release. And he came and got me. When they came and got me, him and his mama came and got me, man, he had me a trunk full of clothes and shit. And I'm like, damn, I still ain't resting. I'm like, damn, he had me a trunk full of clothes and shit like that. And so he went to giving me $1,500 this week. He gave me, you know, shit. I'm blowing through that shit. Like I ain't even thinking of nothing. Yeah. So one day I'm at my grandma's house and I'm sitting in the yard. And there's this dude we used to call Crazy Corey. Crazy Corey said, man, me and him come over there talking, big dog, you on, blah, 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 blah. So he said, man, you know who running this shit now, don't you? I say, no, who the fuck, what, who the hell running? He say, shit, your nephew run this shit now. I say, what? I say, what? So I'm like, what the fuck? So now I'm kind of like really, I'm watching now. So I'm sitting at my grandma's house and she got my nephew and them my grandma had them passed while I was in federal prison. So I'm looking at how they got the bushes and shit trimmed up where you can sit in the middle, but can't nobody see you. And I'm sitting there, I'm watching and cars pulling up. I say, kiss my ass. This little motherfucker was watching me all this time. I have him riding with me and shit like that right there, but I ain't letting them do nothing wrong, you know. They had all the final shit, go cars, everything, you know. They can't do nothing wrong. I'ma dig the ditch. You know, I'ma dig the ditch. Y'all ain't gonna dig the ditch. Man, shit, this motherfucker had, man, I went to see him, what's going on. This motherfucker had, he gonna kill me because he real laid back. He quiet, he don't talk to nobody, he don't go out, he ain't got no social media, he ain't got shit, he different. Like, this motherfucker different. And I seen that shit, I said, man, I was fucking shortchanging myself with these goddamn $50 in this motherfucker cereal, right? I said, man, I'm shortchanging myself. And this motherfucker, but I see when they give me $1,500, they give me, you know, he gave me nice little hits. So I'm like, God damn, what is going on here? You know? And little did I know, he had that motherfucking shit sold up around there.
Still doing this thing?
Nah, man, he walked away.
Man.
He walked away. He walked away from the game, man. And
a lot of people can't say that.
Yeah, no, a lot of people can't say that. A lot of people, man.
Either death or jail.
That's it. That's the only way the drug dealer gonna retire at. In that cell or in that graveyard. Every time.
So you come home, your son Boss Goon, Boss Goon gets out of jail. He beats a murder, and then he gets out of jail for robbery, and he goes to a show, and you with him that night.
Yeah.
Take us through that night.
Man, Boss Goon caught 10 years at the age of 16. He came home, I set it out for him because I'm back now, you know. I'm back in, you know, I'm back straight. He came home, and he wasn't home 6 months before he got killed. And he had this show for this girl named Bree at a strip club, Paradise, strip club around here somewhere. And we went out there and he did the show, you know. We showed out, threw money everywhere, and we left. I guess the guys was laying on us that whole day. Once you know how you replay everything, because my daddy had died, and that same day that he got killed, that early that day we went to my daddy's funeral, and we seen we seen a strange car down the street, and we thought that it was one of my brothers. You know what I'm saying? That my real brother from my daddy. He a fuck nigga too, and he wasn't allowed to come to the funeral. That's all I'm gonna say about him.
Mm-hmm.
And we thought it was him.
Okay.
Because Crazy K said, man, that's my uncle, man. I know it is. He's scared to come up here, blah, blah, blah. But they was laying on his den. So I guess when we leave, I'm driving, I take out, make a U-turn, I hit it. I don't even stop at the red light. I hit it just to try to get on the expressway. I could, you could tell if somebody following you on the expressway. So fucking, we riding, and Moody, that's Boss Goon, one of Boss Goon's best friends. We'll talk about him in a minute. Moody, I'm finna go straight back to my crib. I stay way out, but Moody want to go to a girl house, so that made us get off the expressway to drop him off. We get off on Emerson. I guess that's when the dudes and them catch up with us. Once I seen the footage off of Wacko's, this was a strip club called Wacko's here, and they had I guess they had cameras on their business, and when we came off the expressway, I see it was 2 cars behind us. And we was in a rental, but once you can kind of hurt yourself, because we take them rentals and we put those 5% tents on, and you can't really see out or in. So we pull up at Spring Park. I believe everybody head probably was in their phone or some old shit. And when we pull up, they niggas pull up on the side of us and hit the car. And they hit the car. They shoot in the car. They shoot all us in the car. They shoot everybody in the car. Find out them niggas was shooting little small shit. They wasn't shooting that big shit. They probably would have killed everybody in the car if they would have. They shoot Boss Goon. I think Boss Goon gets shot one time and it went through his heart. My other son, Crazy K, he gets shot in the head 3 times. And my nephew, he gets shot by Sam 8 times. They paralyze him. Moody gets shot by Sam 8 times. Red Dot, he gets shot by 9 times. That's the worst place to get caught in a car. And boom, when they shoot us, I'm still driving, but I'm like trying to hit their car too at the same time. Boom, boom. I'm trying to drive and do that at the same time, and I see my son, Boss Goon, he down, he kind of like down, out. His body part laying like this on the seat now. And I kind of hear him making that guggling noise, and from past experience, you kind of know it's somebody drowning out their blood or something. So I reach over there and I hold his hand while I'm driving and doing all this, and I'm calling him, letting him know, like, hey man, I'm here with you. So now I'm trying to get to the hospital, because the dudes, they done swerved off of us and got off. So I drive around, I pull up, I make it to the hospital, man, all the windows blowed out this bitch. You can just hear shit flagging everywhere. So once I get to the hospital, I pull up to the emergency room, nurses and shit, instead of them reacting for what they've been trained for, they like freaked out. So I gotta get everybody, I gotta go get the stretcher myself. I'm shot in the back. I go get the fucking stretchers. I get one person out the car. I asked my nephew, I said, damn. I said, you can't move? He said, no. I said, you don't feel your legs? He's like, nah. I'm like, damn. In my mind, I'm like, damn, you got paralyzed. And he a good kid. He don't get in no trouble. He just wanted to go to the concert that night. So I pick him up, put him on the stretcher, pushing him in the hospital. I come back. When I grab my other son, I see the blood coming out of his head, and I see like that brain matter shit. So I'm like, damn. So by now my homeboy pull up, Beach Boy. He pull up. I tell him, I say, man, don't let him go to sleep because Crazy K still alert. He done been shot in the head, but he's still alert. So I help this fuck nigga Moody out the car. I put him on my shoulder and get him on the stretcher, roll him in there. I wish that fuck nigga would have bled out though. Then I get Red Dot. I help him out. Red Dot gets shot back here. Shit come out his mouth, blow all this shit out. So I get him out of there. He another one. He should have bled out in that motherfucker too. You know, and I'm helping get everybody out, but now I'm coming back to my son. So they like, man, you shot too. So they look and they like, God damn, I guess I looked it on me. I'm like, man, fuck that. Don't worry about me, man. Let's just get them. Get them in there. Get them in there. Don't worry about me. Get them in there. So they end up eventually getting everybody in the hospital. Then that's when I still didn't want to go in the hospital. They was like, we gonna have to put you in the police car, blah, all this old crazy shit here. So I end up going in the hospital, going in there, they, you know, looking at the shit, and they sold me up, and they didn't want to take, they said it probably due to, they x-rayed it and all that, and they said it was like inside the tissue, muscle or something, and it's best to let that stay. You might do more damage getting it out than you know what I'm saying? So I was back there for a little while, and they eventually just discharged me from the hospital, but shit, everybody else stayed in that motherfucker like 3-4 weeks.
When did you know Boss Goon was dead?
I knew he was dead that night because when they was in there, I was still up. I was the only one that was still conscious. And I was asking them, I asked one of the nurses, like, did he make it? She was like, nah, he didn't make it like that right there.
Did that turn you into a monster?
No, it didn't. I can't say that it turned me into a monster. Because like I wasn't into the pistol game no more, you know. And I can't say that I wanted revenge. I wanted revenge, you know. And I was more hurt than anything at the time. You know, that's my son. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I gotta bury him. You know, and I gotta go see him like this. And I was more hurt because, you know, I was there with him. I was able to hold his hand, and I tried to talk to him, you know, to keep him alert. But I knew he was dead in the car though.
What made Moody a fuck nigga?
1 second. Just when you look down, it kind of rubs on the mic with your beard. Not too much. I just want to know when like you look down.
You want me to move it?
No. Just don't.
All right, but Moody was a dude. His family disowned him. You know, for whatever reason. And me and Moody mama used to fuck around back in the days. And Moody, I don't know whether they disowned him because he was half white and half black. I don't know why, but Moody was a dude that could come over to my house, go in my refrigerator, do whatever he do. We was Muslim brothers, and do what he do, whatever. When he was at my house, he was just like he was, you know, he was home. Moody is the catalyst why I'm sitting here now doing this interview, I mean. Moody wore a wire on butter. Moody was Boss Goon's best friend, and he wore a wire on butter, and by butter probably believing that he is Goon's best friend, he wouldn't have done that. Butter ended up telling him everything what happened on the wire, that I came and picked him up, that Ksoo jumped out the car, did this, they was looking for dude all day long, and you know, he gave him all the whole rundown. But little did Butter know Moody had a wire on. Moody and Red Dot was, I guess they was call themselves going hunting. And they got pulled over. And Moody was already out on bond for a gun. Then when him and Red Dot got pulled over, they got caught with some more guns. Moody said that Red Dot gave a statement on him. So Moody wanted Crazy K and them to correct that situation. Crazy K and them wanted the paperwork that to show where Red Dot gave the statement. Moody never sent the paperwork home, so they couldn't correct the state, correct that. So Moody see Red Dot still hanging around. Red Dot done earned him a ATK chain. So Moody got mad and Moody wanted to take down the whole thing because he felt that Red Dot's still around, but Red Dot done told on me. And he's still around, but Moody, you gotta send these, you gotta thank Red Dot, Moody, Crazy K, me, all us, we Muslims. So you gotta show them where you can't just take your word off of it. You gotta show them where, okay, he told this, blase squaze. So Moody reason for doing that, what he done is because Red Dot told on him, Red Dot still was hanging around. I just heard Moody got hit up in prison though.
How did it make you feel?
I'm glad he got hit up. I'm real joyful about that shit.
How true is it that after Boss Goon died, you seek for revenge and you got your revenge and y'all figured out who did it?
That ain't true.
Okay.
That ain't true. Man, I was never a part of the gunslinging and drilling, put it that way. I'm gonna say I was never a part of the drilling. It was my reputation from back in the days that put me in it. For as me drilling, for as me fucking sending my sons on drills, for as me riding with Ksoo and he jumping out doing this and doing that there. Man, I don't even let my kids cuss around me, bro. I've never even gave my kids a piece of dope to go sell to nobody. The streets don't know me as a father. All they know is this. That's why I could never believe to this day that they didn't step up and get me out of this situation. The streets are gonna make it how they wanna make it. Only reason I get pushed in, because I had a reputation and they felt as if something happened to one of my sons. But I ain't out there like that no more. I ain't trying to go back to prison. I ain't trying to be locked up. I don't want to be around no bunch of fucking niggas all that time no more. And they gonna run with it. That's how I get caught up in it. Just the same way with this situation. I don't know what the fuck going on. Crazy K called me and sent me to go get goddamn pick up Scotty.
So let's go back a little. How informed were you with the whole ATK versus KTA situation? 6 Block, Fulio.
I'm real informed. I'm real informed on it because I had to know about these things because these as they got the new thing they call them YNs, they'll hit anybody. They would have hit me to make Ksoo hurt Ksoo.
Yeah, they shot Fulio's mom. I did an interview with her.
Yeah, they definitely
shot his
did.
mom up.
Yeah, they definitely did. And they'll hit anybody. So I gotta move like I'm in this. I gotta move like it's somebody on my trail. But to me, I was an eagle. They was worms. You ain't never seen those goddamn worms jump off the ground and grab no eagle. You see the eagle swoop down and grab the worm.
Mm-hmm.
But I still moved. I stayed, you know, like, man, Ksoo, Crazy Ken, all them boys, they stayed in my house. They didn't pay no bills. They was small. They was like grown, small kids. You know, they ain't have to worry about no grocery. They ain't have to worry about shit. And I let them bring little chicks to the house because I felt that was comfortable for them. You know, that was comfortable for them. If they can bring their chicks. I ain't got to worry about them in the streets getting set up by a chick or whatnot. You know, I let them do free will what they want to do.
So Fulio and Ksoo and Young and Ace, they were all cool at once upon a time. It's pictures of them.
I don't know about Ace, but I know that
Ksoo for sure.
Yeah.
Did you ever meet Fulio ever?
I done met Fulio. I done met Fulio before. I know Fulio mom personally. Her and my baby mother was real cool. Like she done been to our house. You know, I done been over her house.
Wow.
You know, to that nature like that.
And this whole war split everybody up, even the parents?
Yeah.
That's what she told me in our interview.
No, it did, because you got to think about it like, you gonna be with your child. No
right
matter,
or wrong.
Yeah. You know, and people fault parents for that, but that's just like the law of the land. You know, you're gonna be with your parents, so that makes it where I can't trust her, she can't trust me no more because of this.
Yeah.
You can't talk to these little motherfuckers.
So you don't feel like you had any influence to talk to Crazy Ksoo, any of these guys to get out the street?
I tried. I even told Ksoo and them one time, I said, look, man, when Ksoo started bubbling, I said, man, look, we need to try to squash this. Crazy K told me, say, nah, man, you can't, don't talk to Fulio, because he gonna record you and he gonna put it on thing, he gonna make it look like you begging him to not blah, 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 woo, woo. And it made sense because that's his characteristics. You know, that's his characteristics, you know, and I understood that. So I was like, fall back. I sat down, I have talked to, man, listen, I physically fought Ksoo about posters, about the internet.
About music videos and stuff?
Yes. You know what I'm saying? I have physically, about things that he say. I'm talking about physically done swung on him. He never swung back on me. You know what I'm saying? They respect me as a father, you know. I done went through so much, like, man, why the fuck this, blase, squaze? I'm telling you this. I told my brother when I said, man, that shit gonna be the death of him, man. I said, I can't stop him. I even had one of my daughters was on his page, and that's who would tell me. I could go home. Ksoo could make a post. I could go home, swing on his ass about that post, make him take that post down and leave. Before I get to that corner, my daughter gonna text me and show me another goddamn post he done put up there. You know, and what happened was, it's like that 11-year gap with my kids, they already became who they was gonna be. You know, they already was who they was, and I didn't understand that. Because as a parent, when you leave those, see, what happened was when I was in federal prison, I got somewhat of an understanding of being a parent. And I said, damn, I messed them kids up. I done went to prison. I done left them boys out there. So now they out there, and dudes out there telling them like, hey man, your daddy was this, your daddy was that. Woo, woo. So now that's what they gonna think they gotta live up to. And when I came home from prison, these motherfuckers was.
So let's speed it up a little. Bibby gets killed 2019, right before the pandemic.
Yeah.
Ksoo goes on a crazy run. He's wearing Mike Bibby jerseys. He's all type of videos. I mean, he's walking us through what allegedly happened. Does Ksoo ever come to you about the Bibby situation?
Never.
Never.
I know all my kids' characteristics. Ksoo kind of like, Ksoo ain't got no, he don't have no emotions. That motherfucker heartless. But I know I hurt him. You know what I'm saying?
From being absent?
Not from being absent, from taking that stand.
Oh, okay. So you're talking about now.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, Ksoo, he don't, but I know I did that. I know I hurt him because, you know, from talks and I just know that. You know, I know all their characteristics. Ksoo a motherfucker. He a cold motherfucker now.
Did you, I mean, you're out now, you're good, you're clean. Ksoo, Bibby's dead. Ksoo got life. Did you ever think, or did you ever know that he killed Bibby? You never had the nerve in your body, the conscience in your body never told you that he killed Bibby after doing all the trolling and witnesses and...
That's an open case we talking about, you know.
Yeah, but this is something that he claims verbally. This is something that he trolled and he painted the picture that he wanted us to believe that he killed Bibby. I'm just asking you, because the narrative on the internet, and now that I know you, I got a better understanding, but the narrative on the internet was you were kumbaya, you knew this stuff, you were taking them to do stuff and funding stuff and...
Never. Never took them to do nothing. Never committed a crime with. Never committed a crime.
He never admitted stuff to you that you'll never tell?
No, never. Never. I couldn't see myself sitting down and he telling me, Daddy, you know I did this, Daddy, you know I did that, you know, just like that. I couldn't, I wouldn't have had that conversation.
Do you think other parents were instigating this beef?
Instigating it? I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, they might have, only way the parents will be in it, they just got a safe haven for their child to come at. I wouldn't put that on the parent because man, when them children leave that door, man, you can't do nothing with them. You know, and like I tell a person, man, when you got a son out here, he toting a gun, that's a man. That ain't no boy no more. That ain't no little boy no more. You know, and I thought they liked the basketball player the way they was wearing those baby jerseys, you know? Shit, I thought Leonard Fournette did.
Yeah, Leonard Fournette got a lot of flack for taking the picture with him.
Yeah, I thought maybe Leonard Fournette the one who did it. He got the baby jersey and gave him the Jaguar jersey. So, you know.
I interviewed Bibby's dad before. Do you know him?
No.
Okay. Seemed like a hardworking man. You know, worked a job, honest job. He wasn't a hustler or anything. Y'all lived two different lifestyles. He was the honest living way. But yeah, I interviewed him, and you know, the way he explained Bibby wasn't really in the streets like that. He was just a Fulio, one of Fulio's, you know, little bros.
Yeah. I think that's what he's supposed to say about his son, but he know better than that. He know better than that. You know, all parents know. All parents gonna hear for some reason. They ain't gotta leave the house. They don't gotta be in the streets. My grandma used to always tell me, I don't leave this chair right here and I know everything going on with you. You know, he know that. You know it. He know Bibby got allegations on. He done heard Bibby got allegations for bodies. But he's supposed to say that.
So this Bibby guy wasn't just a civilian. That's
no.
what you're saying.
Fuck no. I was in when that was. When I was in the county jail, one of their little homeboys was in there for a crime that they say Bibby committed. And the dude tell it right now all the time. He said right now. They wanted him to tell that Bibby did it. Bibby was dead, but he didn't do it. Little dude stood up now. They knew he didn't do it. But they knew Bibby did it. But His little homeboy, he could have got out. I take my hat off to the little nigga. He could have got out, but he didn't. He just got up on, the dude just got up on the stand in the Fulio trial and he told it. That everybody respected him because he wouldn't tell on dude. He might as well just said that he might as well should have just told on him right then. He got up on the stand in the Ksoo case. I mean, I'm not the Ksoo case, my bad, in the Fulio case, and said that everybody respect me because I wouldn't tell on Bibby. What the fuck you doing now then?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I mean, I mean, that's what Bibby Dad is supposed to say, it, man, you know.
You never met Fulio at all?
Yeah, I done met Fulio before.
Okay. And what was that like?
Well, he was younger.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I think Fulio could have been a good artist. You know, if he would have stayed focused on his music like he was back, you know, before all this situation came about.
Did you grow any hatred towards Fulio through as the war grew? Because it seems like parents got emotionally involved, honestly.
I did.
Really?
Yeah, I did. Once I grew a little hatred, but once Fulio went to dissing Goon, I did because him and Goon, they kind of like cousins because Fulio has some sisters through his daddy, and Fulio's sisters is Goon, my son, cousins on their mama's side. And Goon never said nothing about Fulio. Goon he rapped, he never said nothing about him. He didn't, and you know, Fulio wanted to diss him to, I guess, to get at Ksoo, you know. And I mean, I know that's how it go, but you know, that's when I started feeling like, you know, a certain way towards him,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah.
Because at first I didn't, because I knew his mama. We done sat at the same table, laughed and played, you know what I mean? And I used to support her with her, you know, with her businesses. And she was, matter of fact, once upon a time, she was like my personal notary.
Mm.
Not personal, but that's who I would go to get notary published from, you know, and support her little business and, you know, shit like that right there. But, you know, I done heard situations right now where she, quote unquote, done supposed to say things about my sons and, you know, like that right there. But I get it.
Mm.
You know, I get it.
2020, you get a phone call from Ksoo, and he wants you to pick him up.
2020, I got a phone call from Crazy K.
From Crazy K. Okay, my apologies. Take us through that day. What were you doing before you got the call?
Ooh, boy. I'm gonna get in trouble for this shit again, boy. I spent the night at the hotel with this little chick. And I was at the hotel getting ready to check out. I was supposed to have been out of town, but I was doing a little thing. And the little chick, I had a, you know, old lady, she had an old man. So I get the call and I gotta get her back. I get the call. Crazy, he called me and said, "Hey man, I need you to go pick up Scotty. I'm finna drop you his location." He dropped me the location. I look at it and it so happened, the location probably is close by me. Anyway, I don't think it's no urgent because he didn't call it. Hey, I need to go 9. So I ain't thinking nothing of it. I take the little chick all the way across town. Then I go back to pick up Scotty. When I get in the neighborhood, I see one police car. I pull to the location. I pull up in the yard, park in the yard. I call Scott. I say, where you at? Boy, I'm out here. He like, I'm coming. He like, I'm coming. Then one time I see the helicopter. It was like in a distance, but it did circle over that way real low. It was low enough for me to see the guy in the helicopter.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, well, nah, they ain't gonna call me for no bullshit anyway, So I wait about 10, 15 minutes in the yard, and they finally come out. When Scotty come out, Butter, Dominique, with him, but they got on pajamas. So I'm thinking they're a little chick house, and they, parents done came home, they hide, and they gotta, get out. So they get in the car. They ain't come out the house running. They walk regular, get in the car. Now mind you, I'm in my car. A orange Challenger, loud orange as fuck. They get in, we pull off. They don't get in, tell me, hit it. We get off, we get on Arlington Expressway, and they go to telling me what happened. Tell me that they got this, they had the old white lady in the house, made her lay down, lay on the couch, all kind of shit. I'm like, oh my fucking God. They tell me about, Scotty tell me about what happened. And now I'm like, fuck. In my mind, I'm like, I need to get these motherfuckers out of my car. But I'm not thinking like a really regular citizen pull over, put their ass out or nothing like that because of who called me. Crazy K called me. You know what I'm saying? I'm do whatever for him. He called me to go get him. I'm going to get him. So I go across town to Grand Park and I switch cars because now I do know what's going on. I don't know what's going on before I pick them up, but now I do know what's going on. I switch cars and I take them way out to my house. Take them out to my house. They change clothes. They give me the clothes. And I leave. And that's my dealing with them for that day. That's my dealing for them. And people may think because I done that, I was in it. But that ain't true because, not to me, because if give me the opportunity to say, I want to be a part of this, I don't want to be a part of this.
Yeah.
And I can't sit here and tell you that I wouldn't have son of Uber. I wouldn't have fucking son of somebody to go get them besides me. My car on these doorbell rings. My phone ping in this lady driveway. My phone ping in this area. All this. So how am I gonna say that wasn't me? I wasn't there. How am I gonna do that? With this new technology, this phone, they followed after they find out, they followed my phone everywhere I went. Once they go back in it, they gonna check that phone data. So what I'm gonna say, there was 100 charges out there, but there ain't 100 charges registered to Abdul Robinson. Ain't 100 phones registered to Abdul Robinson that's pinged in this lady yard. I'm pinged in this fucking lady driveway. They got doorbell rings on this goddamn, my tag. All kind of stuff. So how I'm gonna say what I'm supposed to say once Butter tell them that was me that came and picked them up. I never see Ksoo that day. I never see him that day. But the girl who went and picked him up, she testified. Ain't nobody talk about her. She testified that she went and picked him up. People acting like they didn't see. They took that same live with the same outfit. People act like they ain't seen none of this. They just act like I put this man in jail. I seen that it wasn't a way for him, me, or nobody to get out. So I gotta play chess in this game here and get myself out of this to be in a position to help him later down the line. because I still help him in whatever he need to be helped in. But I got to get in position. I can't do nothing. They know this, you know. Butter get caught that day, the same day. When they're in there fighting with the lady kicked Butter in the nuts. And she see 1993 tattoo on Butter arm. So you know when you go to jail, they gonna take pictures of all your tattoos. So they put together everybody who's supposed to have a tattoo. She picked Butter out. She can't pick Scotty out though. But when the case come around and the trial come around, Scotty DNA, they done pissed in this lady's house. They done used the bathroom in this lady's house. They done drunk water in this lady's house.
God.
They done fucking Scotty DNA all over the fucking front of this lady's clothes. Now Butter telling them that I came and picked him and Scotty up. That's collaborating all this evidence. But everybody is missing all this. It's just that somebody snitched. Somebody this here. I snitched. I told, but Butter collaborated all this evidence. Me and Ksoo got arrested the same day. I don't feel like I snitched. I told. It's a goddamn difference. You know? Yeah, I told. I got up on the stand. I told. I'm owning up to that. But they got to look at the whole broad situation.
When did you decide you were going to testify?
In 2022.
Was it a hard decision?
It was the hardest decision of my life, but I sat for those years thinking that let them wrap this situation around their head. Let them see and they gonna step up. They gonna get Pops out of this. Reason being I'm thinking like this is because I know me as a father to them. So I'm thinking like, okay, they gonna get me out of this. Let me give them a little time. If I wait 2 years and I tell my lawyer, I say, look, get with. See, I'm using Ksoo, you know, but I call him Keeman. I say, get with Keeman lawyer, get with Crazy K lawyer, get with them, let's all sit down and see which way we gonna fight this thing. How we gonna fight this thing. They let their lawyers tell them, no, they don't think this is a good idea. Okay, if y'all thought I was on some bullshit or something, then hear me out like you've been hearing me out. I'm the one who been getting y'all out of trouble all this time now. So hear me out. Don't say nothing. Don't criminate yourself. Just let me do all the talking. Because they know I got a plan. Okay, Ksoo, you want to go to trial? This is what we gonna do. This one I'm gonna tell my plan. This is how I'm gonna tell my plan. This the plan. I had 2 plans. Butter a serial killer. That motherfucker got some bodies. Hey man, we're gonna take and we're gonna let all these motherfucking victim families know that they are sweeping this shit under the rug because Butter is a state witness in this Ksoo case. So now all these families gonna go on an uproar. News, this, that, because of Butter. This gonna make him a bad witness. Second plan is this. If they talk to me now, these the plans. The second plan, if we don't want to go with that plan, let's do with this. I'm gonna get about at least 4 of these old ladies. I'm talking about over 50 in my grandma's neighborhood. They gonna come in here and they gonna testify that Ksoo was on their street eating breakfast that morning when this situation happened. We're gonna do like the state said. We're gonna let the jury figure it out. We're gonna let them see if they're gonna believe these old church-going ladies or they gonna believe Butter. See, I think the days of just sitting there with the burden of proof is on the state I think that's gone. Sad, but it's gone because you don't have to say nothing as a defendant. But I think if you have a defense, it's gonna look better in front of the jury. If that makes sense to you.
When you were testifying and you looked at Ksoo, did he look like he wanted to kill you?
He looked like he didn't believe it. I don't think it registered on him until after the fact. I don't think he want to kill me. I don't think he want to do nothing to me. It's just more so that he hurt, because I have a conversation that always play in my mind that me and him had. I know he loved me, and he told me, he was like, man, I used to wait every year for you to come home. I used to wait every year. Every year they tell me you coming home. And it was just to a point to where I just gave up. And he said, you popped up and you came home and you got me. Like that. You know what I'm saying? And that conversation, it just always play over and over in my head, because I had to have a hand in him getting a life sentence.
Mm-hmm.
But we got to also look, that's the tail side of the coin. The head side of the coin is I got 2 1-year-old boys. I got a daughter too, little daughter. But the reason why, the boys is because these are problems you have with boys. Girls are gonna have the little girl problems, and nowadays they have girl problems. They don't have goddamn, and I had to think about them. And I had to think, man, that I got to save who I can save. If I can, I got to at least try. Because Ksoo is already who he gonna be. And I would think because one of those little boys, Ksoo was stupid close with. And I would think that he would think about them too. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, let me think about my little brother, man. My little brother need his dad, and all his other brothers going to jail. He need his dad out there. Because those little boys gonna outgrow them mama's beatings. That ain't gonna be nothing to them.
Do you feel like without you testifying, Ksoo still would have went to jail for life?
Of course.
So you don't feel like you were the nail in the coffin?
No.
So that makes you feel better? Kind of.
I don't feel better in no kind of way with this situation. In no kind of way. Ain't nothing can make me feel better. I don't think that I was the nail in the coffin to say, because his live video and the video of the killing put him on the scene. His hair in the car, his fingerprints on the gun put him in the car. Now you got to go from here. These are all the things that I looked at before I made the decision that I made. If you in that car at the wreck, you was in that car at the murder. Because the murder started, then the car wrecked, then the neighborhood. Prosecutors are gonna put all this puzzle together and present it to the jury. You got a dude that's admitting to 2 murders, testifying, star witness, saying he was there. That's gonna weigh a lot with that jury. Now do I think what I did helped? Yes. But see, that go to show that his lawyers failed him, because his lawyer knew that the main thing for me was to identify him on that video. And his lawyer kept pushing this other dude. He kept showing this other dude. I don't know what happened. They had a sidebar. The prosecutor was finna play the tape, the recording. They had a sidebar. The judge wouldn't let them play the tape. I said, thank God. I said, oh, thank God, boy, this ain't finna happen. Ksoo lawyer kept pushing this other guy, this other dude. He was showing me another guy, Crazy Chris. He was showing me Crazy Chris. This Crazy Chris. They was trying to make like Crazy Chris was the one who, they was trying to deceive the jury that Crazy Chris the one who did it, because Crazy Chris was supposed to have been sitting on Bibby early that morning, but missed him. Not Bibby, excuse me. He was supposed to have been sitting on Lil Buck early that morning and missed him.
Yeah.
So Ksoo lawyer kept pushing this. This motherfucking prosecutor got up with that video. And when the prosecutor was finna play the video, the judge said, hey, hold it. Prosecutor said, I'm not finna talk about the defendant. He said, I'm not finna say nothing about the defendant. He played the video. And he said, you made them play the video. Leave this shit alone. Get me from up here. I'm talking about Ksoo and them lawyers. Get me from up here so I won't have to do this here. That was the last part of the testimony that I had when, boom, they played the video. And he says, that Chris? What I supposed to say? And who is that? If this man don't constantly shove this in front of the jury, showing them that this is somebody else, he gives the prosecutor no avenue to play this motherfucking video while I'm up there. I think his lawyers just didn't do him a good justice. I think that he should have had the lady lawyer as his lead lawyer. That motherfucker, that was bulldog. She broke me down in the deposition. Like she broke me, she made me tap out. And I think that she should have been that lead in that case. Because you gotta think, when you put a woman in, that's a male dominant thing. So once you put the woman's in there, they gon' then she gonna become from a mama point of view too.
Yeah.
You know, like that right there.
When did you realize you were getting time served?
I got sentenced on, I think that was a Wednesday. My lawyer came and seen me that Monday, and he was talking, and he was never sure of it. And he was like, it's a good possibility you're gonna get time served. But it wasn't a locked-in thing. Then that motherfucker came back and seen me Tuesday. I said, oh shit. Well, I hope it's good news. So he came back and he seen me Tuesday. He was like, the language that the prosecutor gonna use, it's a good possibility that you gonna get up out of there. Because the prosecutor told the judge, if you sentence him, I don't want him to get more than 8 years. So once he probably said, if, I think that's a different language in that courtroom. They'll talk over our head. We won't understand that. That's like a whole nother foreign language. And I never knew I never knew for a fact. I knew it was a possibility that I could get it. But at the same time, my guideline was like 74 months. I had already did but it was from 74 months to 20 years. That was part of the negotiating plea that I took. Before that, the negotiating plea I took, it was to life. Because I had a conspiracy to commit murder. Way Butter told him I offered 50 grand to kill anybody from 6 Block. I gave him a van full of guns. Man, I ain't never did.
That's not true? You didn't offer 50,000?
50,000 to kill somebody nowadays? Man, them motherfuckers will kill them. They'll 50,000 to one of them young boys, they'll go to the graveyard, dig somebody up and kill them. And they ain't kill nobody for them 50 grand? Come on, man. But Butter had them put that puzzle together for them so good. It's just like Butter told him, well, how did Ksoo fingerprint get on that gun? Well, he picked it up because he wanted to use that instead of making his gun dirty. So he had them put that shit together so good for him to match up with all the evidence they had. So anything Butter said, they was gonna believe it. It was gonna be law.
Hold on, hey, we got 15 minutes because the airport, the traffic's crazy. Two more things. You were in prison when Fulio died, right?
I was in jail.
In jail.
Yeah.
You were in jail fighting the case when you heard that Fulio died.
Right.
What was your thoughts when you first heard that?
Shit, to be honest, that motherfucking voodoo ain't work, huh? That was it.
You felt you kind of joyful about it?
Yeah. Yeah, I was joyful about it. Shit, we had it was about 4 or 5 more dudes in there. I ain't gonna call their names. We made pizza and nachos that day. Yep.
Yeah, it seems like, I mean, the people who did it are already arrested for it. It's an open case. We're not going to talk too much about it, but Fulio was wanted.
Hey, what they say, he worked hard for that.
Yeah.
He worked hard for that.
Yeah. It seems like he really put on the Jacksonville scene, though. Would you at least say that?
For the rap?
Yeah.
I gotta give all them boys a hand in that, I gotta, Ace put on, even though they didn't, I don't think Ace banned from Jacksonville and no shit like that. It's just that they're gonna bother him. See, the reason why they made Ace was so much of a target, they knew Fulio was broke. They knew Ace had that money. So that's why they targeted him more than they targeted Fulio.
Would you give Fulio his respect that he was a threat, though?
Nah.
Really?
Nah. Fulio, I don't got Fulio behind now trigger.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, it's been people on both sides that have been murdered, hit.
Yeah, but I don't think Fulio did it. He done had some. He a good manipulator.
He's a good leader. A lot of people give him his credit for his leadership.
He a good. I don't. Reason being, I wouldn't give him good because see, I've been in jail with his homeboys. And see, a good leader take care of their homeboys. Fulio don't send them boys shit. They done told me out their own mouth. I had one of his little homeboys used to be under me every fucking day. 25, his bond, he needed $2,500 more to get out. He didn't get out. I ain't giving, when you a leader, your man's gonna get out on bond. He gonna always have a commissary. He gonna motherfucking, his lawyer's gonna be paid. His family gonna be looked out for when you a leader. If you missing any one of them as a leader, you ain't no leader.
So let's talk about Young and Ace. I mean, Ksoo really, he looked up to Young and Ace. He had his back in every capacity. He was the force. Seemed like he was the force behind Young and Ace. But you haven't really gave him, I'm not gonna say gave him his flowers, but it seems like it's a gray area with you and Young and Ace.
I like the I like the Young Ace too. He made that post about he went broke paying for them lawyers. Man, I know right now that Ksoo done called Young Ace for $150 and he ain't get it. I don't think Ksoo should have to.
When did he call him for the $150? Recently.
I don't think that Ksoo should have to call Young Ace for no money. I think that should be inside Young Ace's budget. Ksoo don't got no kids. He don't have no kids. If I gotta get a fake motherfucker name to get on Ksoo visitation, I'm gonna make sure he gonna have some money every month. I'm talking about me. If he don't want it, don't spend it. I don't have nothing against Ace. I always felt like that Ace's position was too much for him at the time because he was so young. He had his whole family. He had to take care of his whole family. He had to do a lot of things, but he know that if it wasn't for Crazy K and if it wasn't for Ksoo, ATK couldn't move around the world like they move around the world. They don't move around the world like that off Ace music. They know Crazy K and Ksoo gonna move out. And like I say, and when I heard that they lawyers wasn't getting paid, one dude in jail, look, he get his family to look up Ace, and they got Ace as for up $5 million, worth $5 million. I think $5 or $6 million, one of them. And whatever that net worth is, I mean, you ain't gonna pay these boys lawyer. You gonna make these boys. Scotty got a motherfucker. Scotty went through that whole case with a fucking public defender. Scotty, you don't treat a motherfucker like Scotty like that. Scotty's supposed to have a lawyer. Scotty's supposed to have a good lawyer. That man went through there with a whole public defender, man. And that don't supposed to work like that. You're supposed to really go broke getting them a lawyer, not for the gram. Cause you can't, it's so many, you making so much money off of them. You know, you make it. And another thing, you know, issue is Ace know he didn't start at ATK. Crazy K started that. And Ace stole that in a sense. But I fought Crazy K because I told him when he did that, I said, get your paperwork right on that. Nah, man, you know, Ace ain't gonna do nothing like that. Huh. Okay, you see Ace got his paperwork right on that. The same thing, you know, you gotta do business with everything. It's business because anything that generates a lot of money gonna cause some friction somewhere in your team. And I don't care I don't give a damn if Ace had to send Ksoo $30 a month. It should never go by a month that he don't send him something. Ain't like you gotta take care of Ksoo churn. He don't have none. You need private investigators. When you fight cases as big as they made case on case, I mean, you gotta have private investigators, you gotta have all type of shit.
We're gonna follow up next month, but before I get out of here, Boosie had a lot to say. I guess he wanted to write you and tell you, let them do their job, and you had a car shop. He gave you flowers. You know, he really liked that. Blue really liked that. When you seen the Boosie situation, how'd you react to that?
Number one, I don't even know that nigga. That's number one.
He said he knows of you.
He knows of me.
Through, I guess, his cousin.
Yeah.
You had a car shop?
Yeah. His cousin had a car at my shop.
They got burnt down?
Yeah. And man, that nigga scared of Charleston White, man. What the fuck I'm thinking? I ain't worrying about no motherfucking Bootsy, man.
I love this guy.
What the fuck I'm worrying about Bootsy, man? My favorite rapper, Trick Daddy. That would have hurt my fucking feelings if Trick Daddy would have said something. Bootsy, he get on here talking about I'm like that, I'm this, that, I'm stepping and all this here, and I'm stepping this here, and I do this here, and I do that there. What the fuck is that? That's goddamn telling in a sense. You just ain't got me locked up, but now you done tarnished me in front of the jury. If I did want to go to trial, if you really motherfucking cared, why you didn't try to help Ksoo? Why you didn't try to get no lawyers? You ain't did nothing. But he got to say what his consumers want to say. He got to say that. That's what that makes it sound good, you know? I done been in Louisiana with his DJ, that big nigga who always be walking around and with a bodyguard. I guess he is bodyguard. A couple more dudes. I'm talking about, I've been there with myself, seen this with my own eyes at the breakfast bar, and they couldn't even pay for their own breakfast. Damn. I seen this with my own eyes.
Boosie's people.
Boosie people. They couldn't even pay for their own motherfucking breakfast. Ain't nobody told me this or none of that. I seen that. And, you know, I respect what Boosie say because of his situation, and he stood up in his situation. But Boosie had the right support to walk. See, your lawyers can, you need motherfuckers in the street to move too for you on cases like this. And he had that. He had his lawyers, they handling the courtroom. But you got your people out here that's handling like what they need to handle it. And he had, I think that's his cousin, he dude is a preacher now, something like that. Donkey or something. He had him walk the fucking little kid that he had killing all these motherfucking people out here. What, that boy was 12, 13 years old? If he didn't, he got off on the murder charge, they should have hit him for fucking child endangerment.
Let me ask you this, because we definitely got to have a part two. This is just a lot to touch. Do you fear for your life?
Hell no.
Really?
For what?
I mean, a lot of people are upset that you put Ksoo in prison and
them keyboard gangsters, man. Fear for my life. Man, that ain't the first time that my life's supposed to be in danger. I've been doing this shit all my life. Fear for my life? Nah. I'm Muslim. I believe in the decree of Allah. I don't care. I could walk out here and walk out there and stomp over the concrete and fall and die. I believe that. God got that already written when I'm gonna die. Now I ain't gonna be no fool now.
yeah, nobody's untouchable.
I'm a motherfucking Ty Mike Campbell. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be an eagle. I ain't gonna be no worm. But I ain't finna motherfucking, I ain't gonna go walk around the neighborhoods like that. I ain't gonna give one of these young motherfuckers a chance like that. But man,
In any Jacksonville threats though?
I don't think so.
Really?
Fuck no, they don't wanna fuck with me.
Oh. I haven't heard nothing.
Man,
I'm just,
listen.
you know how the internet can
Hey,
be.
they broke me. They broke me and I got on that stand. They ain't break these. Them bitches still move. They ain't them bitches work. I love me. And like my grandma said, you got to bring ass to get ass.
Blue, man, I appreciate your time. We got a lot. I got to figure you out more. It's definitely not what they paint on the internet. But I would love to come back next month. January, February, we do a part two because I feel like it's a lot of stories that haven't been told, and I feel like people want to hear more from you. Yeah, definitely not what's painted online.
Well, they gotta paint what's gonna sell, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And they know how to manipulate that online thing. Man, that shit is hilarious.
Bro,
to
we
me.
break a lot of news, and when we posted, I remember like when we posted the news of you and your son, it felt like you were involved from day one. It felt like you were the, not puppet master, but like you knew what was going on in some instance, which you do know more than what you're saying, but.
I know this. I know my sons ain't no angel. But for as me, in a part of sitting down with them, and they know I don't play that. Man, I'm telling you, man, with God, the only reason why Ksoo can cuss in front of me is on making a record. I don't play that. I don't, because if I let my children cuss in front of me, next they gonna cuss at me.
Would you sit down with all the parents of the rappers, the Jacksonville rap scene? Or you don't think that could ever happen?
What would that solve?
I get that too.
Because we can't control them motherfuckers. Not them kids, man. We can't control them, man. Once they grown, man.
But does that make you a bad parent though, that you can't control your own?
No, because really they men. They men now. It ain't but one kid was involved in this situation. And that was Bibby. And evidently
but you said he was active though.
But he's a kid. He was 16. But the rest of these dudes are grown. Like, they already who they gonna be. So you ain't finna, what the parents gonna do? Then these kids, they so fucked up, if you try to straighten it out, they gonna think you with the op, you with this here. Ain't nothing they wanna do. If they wanna, the only way, it ain't nothing they can do, man.